Pedro. First fight in PFL officially. I mean, let's get the obvious question. How is it feeling, new organization and everything else?
I'm feeling excited. The only thing that I can say is like I'm feeling very excited. It's like a fresh start. Facing fresh faces because I've been in the top five of Bellator for the last 4 years. I faced them all. I've been around them all. So right now having like a new place with new opponents, it's very refreshing for me, and that it gives me bumps and excitement. Other than that, a fight is a fight. It's just another fight, and we just do our work.
You fought in several places with Bellator, but never Chicago. How are you liking the experience of fighting out here?
Oh man, it's amazing because Chicago always been in my bucket list to visit. And when I heard that I will come to Chicago to fight, I was like, oh, that's a win-win. I'm doing what I love, and I'm visiting a place that I always wanted to visit. So it's so far, it's been amazing. This is my sixth time in US. I had the pleasure of visiting a lot of cities all across, but I think easily this has been my favorite one. The expectations were high, and it's up there.
I saw on your Instagram your daughter recently celebrated her birthday.
Yes.
Obviously she's still very little.
Yeah.
When she gets older, what do you plan on telling her about your fight career?
Well, they kind of know. They just are not very aware of it. Both of my sons, they know. I fight, but they don't really take it serious because they are not really aware of all that, of all this world. But to be honest, I try to keep them away. If one day one of them come to me and say that I want to try martial arts or something, okay. But if I can keep them away, the better. I just let the dad do the hard work. Because of fighting, and think about something else.
You have a former champion for your first fight, and it's a very big spot on the card. Just what are your thoughts on Brendan and what he brings to the table?
Well, you're saying former champion. That's a name title. How many former champions? How many champions did I face before? You see on my record, back to back. I faced world class guys. But Brandon is one of them. That's one of the fights that I wanted. That's a fight that I got. So it gives me very excitement because he's very similar to me when it comes to the fighting style. So I know I'm going out there. I'm gonna have a great fight with him, and it won't be boring at all. So yeah, I'm buzzing. But my focus is in winning and getting the job done, and that's what's gonna happen on this Friday.
Pedro, Gabriel mentioned your son there. Am I right in saying that the first 18 months of your son's life you actually missed because you went up to Ireland, I believe, from Portugal to train? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When my son, so me and my wife, we both moved to Ireland. In the meanwhile, she got pregnant, and when she got pregnant, she went back to Portugal. And then when my son born, I was still training and living in Ireland. So it was tough, but it was. I remember every time I was fighting, I just felt at that time I did like 3 fights, yeah, and that was like my rise on Bellator because I knew that every time I was fighting, like losing is never an option. But in that case, like I was fighting for bring my son and my wife close to me. I was fighting to join the money to bring them to Ireland at that time, and man, I was ready to kill in that cage. And I remember that motivation that I was feeling, and it was something that I never felt before. And it's something that I've been carrying all this time with different reasons because now I don't need to bring them or something, but I'm fighting for their future. I'm fighting for the future of my son, of my daughter, and give them something that I never dreamed to have when I was young. Because I come from a very poor background, and be able to provide them a life that I never dreamed to have when I was a kid. it's very grateful for me, but I don't take for granted. And there's a lot of work to do still, and just keep going.
I believe Bellator 200 was sort of the breakout performance when you fought Daniel Crawford.
Yeah, that was my first fight.
And before that, you mentioned the money. What was the sort of job that you were doing in Portugal to fund your MMA career? Because I believe you came from sort of nothing, as you said, right?
Yeah. So when me and my wife decided, okay, we're gonna move, and Ireland was the place. So this was in beginning of 2016. So I basically stopped training to have a full-time job in a factory, and bro, it was the hardest 10 months of my life. And then when I moved to Ireland, I was working as a janitor, cleaning toilets in a hospital, and training at the same time and fighting at the same time. But I look back, especially when I was in Ireland, cleaning toilets, running home to get my bag and go to train, come back very late, and at midnight I was going to bed to be up at 7 to go back training, and all repeat. It was hard, but I look back as big nostalgia, because it was the struggle times, kind of, and I knew I had to go through that, and if you want some, you have to go after it. And I was just a kid with a dream, and I'm still a kid because I'm only 28 with a dream. But I plan in make a reality this year.
Just last one. Do you ever sort of maybe you walk past that same hospital and you used to look and think, wow, I used to work there, and you're fighting for a big organisation? Do you reflect on the hard times that you had and how now you're fighting for a lot more money than you used to earn?
Yeah. Like sometimes I think, but I don't like too much to think too much about that, because I'm a guy that I like to look forward. Sometimes when we feeling blue, like you can say, we go back to that nostalgia memories because it gives a bit of comfort. But overall, I don't like to spend too much time about the past, because we as in humans, we have this thing of, we think that our good times were the past times, and we have so much good time that we can create ahead of us, and I have so many good memories that I recently have, and I know that I'm gonna have more. So that's my focus, the present and the future, and thinking about my near future, become world champion and bring home $1 million to my family. That's a very good memory. So that's where my eyes and my head is focused on the future, focus on this present, this Friday. That is the first step for their near future, and we go from there. Thank you.
What's up, Pedro? Welcome to the States once again, man. Thanks for the interview a couple weeks ago. You're calling this fight a career statement. What exactly is the statement or the message that you plan to deliver here in the Windy City of Chicago, Illinois this week?
Well, first of all, win and just go out there with a former champion. On the paper, the toughest challenge in the season, and just go out there and prove that I'm the better fighter, and prove that there's no arguments against me, and just go from there. I just want the toughest challenge and go out there, beat them one by one, because I don't want only to win the whole thing. I want the toughest challenges, so on the end, when I become world champion, there's no doubt that I'm the world champion.
Thank you. One more question for you. When you come to America, you get to represent your Portuguese heritage, your fans, and friends, family from Ireland. Does all of the people watching in and the huge support system you have ever add any pressure, or is it all motivation, just having these people following your career?
No, I normally perform well under pressure, prefer being better under pressure, but that the support for me is never a pressure factor. Is a motivation factor. The fact that I see so many people from Portugal, from Ireland, supporting me, believing in me, man, that's just so grateful to see that, and that doesn't have any pressure for me. They just give me a very good feeling that people believe in me. Not only I see something, other people around me see the same thing and believe in the same thing that in me and what I'm going to achieve, and that gives me just a very grateful feeling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Pedro.
You'll be the co-main event this weekend on ESPN Plus. How do you envision this matchup going, and do you believe you'll have a grappling advantage on Friday?
How I see this fighting going is me winning. That's how I see point. Grappling advantage, I don't know. Like we both well-rounded. You know, I even though most of my wins are by submission, but if you look closely, I'm not your typical grappler that I'm gonna take you down. People normally just give in under pressure that I put on the feet. They try to take me down and they end up being submitted. That's what happens most of the times. I'm not saying that I won't try to take Brendan down or I will or not. But we are both well-rounded fighters. Like I've said before, on the paper we are very similar fighters, and I do know they're going to be a very exciting fighting. And the only preview I can give is I'm going to win, and that's it. The rest, we'll see. Thank you.
Hi, Pedro. As someone who's going into their first PFL season, because of the format and the way the season works, do you feel more urgency to score a quick finish versus letting it go to a decision?
No. I'm just go out there, do my job. If I have something to worry about, let it be after. Not this. This is the first fight, so we just go out there and we throw shots, and we'll see after. But I've been in this position before. I did already 3 tournaments, 1 in Bellator and 2 in Portugal in Pro K1. Both of them were like in 3 fights in 1 weekend with no shin pads, no nothing. So you know, I'm used to that kind of format, and I do like it. I do like it because it pretty is like you have to be smart, but at the same time it's pretty much who wants it more. After that first fight, after the second fight, when you go to the playoffs and you've been hurt on your 2 previous fights, it really is who wants it more, you know. And I do know that no one wants it this more than me. So that's that.
And my last question is, you're facing an opponent who is already used to the PFL season and format. In your mind, do you view him as having an advantage because of that, or do you treat your first PFL fight the same way you would for a Bellator fight or any other MMA fight?
Yeah. I because that's the thing, because this is the first fight, so this is like the best version of everyone fighting. You know, everyone just injury free. We didn't have a fight. We come for the first season fighting, and like I said, I think those kind of thoughts will start to come up to mind after the first fight, after the second fight. Then we have to start to see how our body is, what we have to do, what adjustments we have to do. But right now we just another fight like the other times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, sorry, just 2 quick more ones. You're fighting a week after a big announcement of your teammate Conor McGregor's final
Yes.
back. I just want to get your thoughts on how he's looking in training, if you've seen him recently in SBG.
Oh yeah, he's been in the mats with the team every day. So it's been great to having him again, because he has his own gym in his own house, so he doesn't even need to show up. But he's been showing up every single day, training with the team. You know, it's great to having him, and I think it's great for the sport in general to have Conor McGregor around, because it brings so many eyeballs that normally are not there for the sport, and he just bring all their buzz, all their attention that people knows that he brings. So it's great to have him back on both ways, in the sport and in the mats, in the gym.
I know he teased a middleweight fight, but it's 170. Is he looking beefier? Has he got a little more muscle?
I think that 170 it's the right one. 180 I don't know if it's like a marketing thing, but 170 it looks to me that it's perfectly one concern of like no weight cut at all, like no worry about weight cutting, and be strong, be athletic. 170, I think it's the weight.
Last one, do you think he gets it done early, or do you think it goes?
I do think that it's go under 2 minutes, especially not only for his skill set that everyone knows that he has it, but also because of the style that Michael Chandler has been bringing since he joined UFC. I think he wasn't fighting at all like that in Bellator. Since he joined, I think it's the thing that he wants to bring excitement, entertaining. I understand that, but since he joined UFC, he exposed himself too much. You could see against Dustin, he was exposing himself in a way that he didn't need it. And when you do that against a guy like Conor, there's a sniper, well, I think it won't go very well for him. Thank you.
What's up, Pedro? I got one. Now entering your first regular season format, what changes have you made? And how has the team at SPG helped you prepare for this fight Friday night?
Well, for now, no change was done because, like I've said, it's the first fight, so we don't need to make adjustments yet. And you know, the team always there. Everyone, coaches, teammates, even the staff in the gym, everyone just there 100% for everyone. We are just like a big family, and that's the thing that I like in SVG, in the team. That even though we are a big gym, it's like a kind of we are a big gym with a small gym spirit, if you know what I mean. A kind of we are just a big family that try to help each other, and it's been always like that, and it still like that.
Thanks, guys.